Hello, everybody. This is MoveEasy Yoga with Via. Today is March 9th, 2021, and we're going to start in the regular fashion, lying on the floor, supine, just breathing. You may want to put a towel, a washcloth or two under your head. You just want your spine, your cervical spine to be neutral, so you're not tucking or extending too much. That's what the washcloths are for. Just here you are, breathing. Watching the breath. Not trying to change it. Becoming aware that your breath is supporting you and that the floor and the earth underneath you is also coming up to meet you. I'm a student of my body and my breath. Notice any noise around you, but also find the silence, the stillness. Take one more breath. And then we're going to continue with vagus nerve reset. You can put a set of therapy balls underneath the occipital ridge, or you can bend your elbows and bring your hands behind your head and rest your occipital ridge, the base of your skull, in your hands. Your hands are stacked, palms are stacked, or fingers interlaced. And then without moving anything else, shift your eyeballs to the right and wait for a sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Your eyes can be open or closed. Come back to center. Shift your eyeballs to the left and wait for a sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Come back to center and repeat 2 more times. Right, left, without my cues. Whenever you're finished, we're going to continue with head ramping. You can have a therapy ball, set of therapy balls under your occipital ridge. You can have your hands there. Either way, what you're going to do is just press the base of the skull towards the floor. The whole skull moves away from the shoulders and the chin drops. And stay here for a breath or two. And then release. And do 4 more of those. 5 more. Let's do 5 more of those. You might even get some more yawns out of these. Because you're tweaking some of the things that are happening in the occipital ridge still, which actually is pretty much guaranteed also to affect the vagus nerve. But this movement isn't done for vagus nerve, even though it has that effect sometimes. This is done to counteract all of the times that you slouched, rounded your shoulders, and brought your head forward over your computer or your cell phone. And if you have discomfort in your shoulders or the back of your neck, where the cervical spine meets it's a little bump called Dowager's, well, it's just called a bump unless it becomes a Dowager's hump. Rounded, running you forward. If you have that already, if you have that issue or you're worried about that issue, do more of these during the day. You can do them seated or standing. If you're seated or standing, you actually need to try to stay in good posture. So don't try to stabilize your neck while you're rounding your shoulders forward. That's why I like to do it on the floor. Finish up. We're going to do the breath work now. Just stay where you are. You can bring your hands down by your side or put them on your belly. Let's do Viloma breathing. I like this breathing pattern. It's actually good for building up strength and flexibility in the respiratory system. On your inhale, you're going to divide your breath into thirds. The first, you take an inhale, fill up a third of the lungs, pause, take a second inhale, fill up the second third of the lungs, and then take a third little breath and fill up the last third of the lungs, pausing, and then exhaling all at once, just one exhale. So 3 little inhales with a pause after each, and then an exhale. Keep going. Two more. And stay where you are. We're going to do a basic hypopressive The knees are bent, feet on the floor, toes lifted, and then bring your arms up overhead, over your chest like you're hugging a tree. Flip your palms. Press your palms into the ceiling. Press your scapula, your shoulder bones into the floor. So activate your arms. And now 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath. Inhale. Exhale. All the way out. Hold your breath. No breath. You can imagine that you're inhaling without inhaling. That'll spread your rib cage nicely. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stay as long as you can. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Inhale and exhale, let everything go. Extend your legs. Cross your right ankle over your left. Bring your arms up above your chest again. This time, stack your left hand on top and your right hand on the bottom, and then bring your arms overhead. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All the way out. Hold your breath out, no breath. Spread your rib cage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And inhale and exhale, let everything go and switch sides. Cross your left ankle over your right. Bring your arms up over your head and stack your right hand on top of your left. Bring your arms overhead. 3 breaths. 1, inhale. And exhale. Second breath, inhale. And exhale. Third breath, inhale. And exhale. All the way out. And hold your breath out, no breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and inhale and exhale. I want to say this is good for core work, pelvic floor work. It's good for incontinence. I want to say that I have incontinence, and 3 is not going to be enough for me. Just so you know, if you're trying to control a leaky bladder, you're going to need to do more of these than 3. That's my experience anyway. I mean, if you want to talk to me about it, just send me an email and I'll tell you what I'm doing. But you're not as old as I am. You probably may not be leaking yet, she says. So what I do is I do about 5 of these in the morning. If that seems to work, that's cool. If not, I do more later in the day. So I kind of use it as and the other thing I need to say also is I'm experimenting with 2 things. 1, any shape. So any lying down shape, any seated shape, taking 1 to 3 breaths. So sometimes I just take 1 breath and then I hold my breath out still for 15 counts. But I take any shape. Hypopressives is probably a patented practice that has 23 shapes. I think you can do this lying down or you could do it in a recliner, or you could do it seated or standing. So very flexible. That's working for me to do it not to be stuck with just the shapes that I know of from hypopressives. Let's go to the leg stretch. So you're going to need a strap. The leg comes up. Hold on just a minute here. No, okay. The leg comes up, and I'm going to time you in just a minute. You're going to get a few more seconds on this side. You can slightly bend your knee. Maybe I'll do this for myself. This is the strap work is a variation of what's called, I think it's called the foot to head move. No, hand to foot. You're holding on. Some people have enough flexibility, they can hold on to their toe, big toe with their hand. Okay, now from here, now keep your tailbone on the floor, drop your leg out to the right. And keep your both buttocks on the floor. And breathe. One of the things you should know about this pose, but it has a lot of benefits, but one of them is building a new bone density in the head of the femur, and also in the socket, the acetabulum, the hip socket. Good work here. Try to keep your left hip on the floor. Bring your whole leg back up. Switch the straps, switch the legs. And hold on to the straps, one strap at each hand. I'm going to push the button. Your right leg can be, your left leg is in a strap. Your right leg can be straight or bent. Good for, you should feel a little stretch along the back of the knee. Hamstrings is a great hamstring stretch. I told you it was bone building. Opens the hips. Just being aware of your breath and your movement. Okay, drop your left leg out to the left. You may not be able to get it down as far as Kathy. I want you to keep, it's more important to keep your both hips on the floor than it is to get your leg out to the floor. Mine is I don't know, about maybe 45 degrees. Maybe a little less. It's okay. Staying here and breathing. And coming out of that. Setting your strap aside. We're going to do the side, just because I'd like to review things that I've introduced. We're going to do the sideline magician on a block. or off of a block, depending on you. So get a brick and put it under your hip. It's not under your waist, under your hip. Lengthwise. Your elbow is on the floor. Bring your top leg up to parallel and then bring your left leg up if you can. If it's too hard to be on a brick, you can just be on the floor. And we're going to just stay here for a few minutes. No, not a few minutes, a few seconds.
Thank you.
Sorry. And see if you can feel some of the work that's happening at the waist on both sides, actually. And remember, I'm just going to say that if it's too hard to be up on a brick, you could be doing this on the floor without the brick. It's going to be smaller. The next thing I want you to do is grab a sponge ball. Grab your sponge ball and put it underneath the waist.
Okay, say that one more time, underneath the waist.
At the waist. So you're lying on your sponge ball, which is at the waist, at the QL. And this one, I think maybe you'll remember from last time. You're going to take an inhale, your side lying. You're going to take an inhale and allow the therapy ball to just come into the waist area. So inhale, and the ball comes up into the waist, into the fascia here. And then you're going to hold it and hold. And then as you exhale, try to bring the pelvis and the rib cage towards each other, squeezing the ball. This is a concept. You may or may not succeed. And then, once you've done that, the squeeze, then you release. Now this time you do the same thing. So you repeat it. So notice Kathleen's on the floor. I was up on my elbow. I think you can do either one. You can do either one, whichever is comfortable. And now the first thing you're going to do is take an inhale and see if the ball can come up in towards the waist, into the fascia there. See if the ball kind of comes up. Hold. It's a contraction. And now exhale and squeeze around the ball. You're going to squeeze the pelvis and the rib cage towards each other around the ball. And then we're going to do it one more time on this side, and then we'll repeat 3 times on the other side. So remember, on your inhale, you're going to see if you can pull the ball up, or allow the ball to come up into the waist area via QL. Hold at the top. And then exhale and squeeze the rib cage and the pelvis towards each other, squeezing around the ball, squeezing the ball. And now go ahead and flip to the other side. And we'll do the whole thing on the other side. Well, we have to do the magician first, I guess. So remember, the first thing you're going to do is put a brick under your hip. If you want to, or keep your hip on the floor. Your side lying, the legs are straight, lift the bottom leg, and then lift the top leg to meet it. It could be very small. I'm having trouble doing this because I don't do it very much. And I'm going to get off my brick because it's not very comfortable. I'm going to get down on my elbow, on my arm, forearm instead of my elbow. Oh, I can see that I would like to have, I'm not going to do it because I don't have time to do it, but I'd like to have something underneath my hip because my hip is so bony. Yeah, I would put a blanket under my hip before I do this again. Because that's excruciatingly painful. So just so you know, there are ways to adapt this to your own body. When you're done with that, go ahead, and Kathy's a star at this. I want you to put the sponge ball at your waist again. This side, this side. Oh, I'm gonna get a blanket. Hold on, I can't even, I guess this side of my hip is uncomfortable. Hold on, I'm gonna get a blanket. The problem with my not doing these with you is I don't learn these things about. I don't learn anything while I'm sitting looking at you and Kathy. Okay, now we'll see how that goes. Blanket under my hip. Go ahead, and the first thing you're going to do is inhale and see if you can pull the ball up into your waist, the QL. Pull it up, hold. I'm up on my elbow, Kathy's down on the floor, that's fine, either way. And now the next thing you're going to do on your exhale, you're going to try to squeeze the ball between your pelvis and your rib cage. Squeeze the ball. And release. Now we're going to do this two more times. The next time, the first thing you do, and on your inhale, try to pull the ball up into your waist and hold. Contract. It's a contraction. And then the next thing you're going to do on your exhale, squeeze the ball around the ball, squeeze the hip, the pelvis towards the rib cage. This is very subtle, but it could be really beneficial to you to improve your walking, your gait, and your lower back, any lower back issues that are related to QL. One more, releasing that. Inhale, pull the ball up into the waist. You might feel your core working too to help you do this. Pull it up, hold. And now exhale and squeeze the rib cage and the pelvis around the ball towards each other. And then go ahead and release. And come up to a floor seated position. Sitting in a cross-legged position on the floor. You may want to sit on a blanket or a brick. Cross your legs, and we're going to do a side bend, just taking the right arm along the floor. Keep your hips level on the ground. Bring your arm up and over, your top arm up and over. So thoracic side bend. Keep your hips on the floor. This does not involve the lumbar, or it does not involve the lumbar spine. That is in neutral. Now go ahead and take your elbow forward so you can get another stretch at the armpit, a little different stretch. You're still side bending, but you're finding another stretch that is you should feel it at the armpit or just behind the armpit. Bring your elbow up, bring your entire torso up, switch sides. You can switch legs here, or you can switch Well, let's switch here. It's easier to remember. And slide your left arm along the floor. Right arm up and over. Keep both hips on the floor, both sits bones on the floor. You can do anything you want with your head. You can move it. You find a comfortable place for your head. Big side bend stretch. Good for you. And then go ahead and bring your left elbow or your other elbow up, forward. You should feel a different stretch. It's in the armpit, the back of the armpit. And slowly bring your elbow up and then bring your torso up, all the way up. Switch your legs again. We're going to do a spine twist. I wish we could do that side bend twice, but I don't think we're going to have time. Go ahead and we're going to go to the right first. Put your left hand on your right knee. Bring your right arm behind you. Spider fingers. Rotate the thoracic spine. You can look back over your shoulder if you want. When you find and maintain your spine twist, the thoracic spine twist, once you find that, if you'd like to, you can slide your rib cage from right to left or from side to side while you're maintaining your spine twist. I think it's hard to do the slide if you have your chin back towards your shoulder. So you may want, if you want to do the slide, you may want to keep your chin forward over your chest. That's just my experience. Come on back, all the way back, unravel, other side, switch legs. Switch the cross of your legs, right hand on left knee, left hand behind you, spider fingers, rotate your thoracic spine as far as you can. I think if you're going to add, and stay here, and if you're going to add the rib cage, just keep your chin straight forward, your face straight forward, and then slide the rib cage from side to side. And try not to involve your shoulders or your upper trapezius in the slide. Slowly unravel from that. And then come into a stacked knee position with a strap. We're going to do the back rub, the strap and back rub. Where's my strap? Oh, there's my strap. Let's put the strap on your left shoulder first. Now, so the strap is on your left shoulder. Put your left hand arm bends and holds onto the strap behind you. No, that's not right. The right arm bends and holds onto the strap behind you. The left arm has to have room to go up. If you're the arm that goes up has to have room to go up. So it becomes the other arm. From here, you can just hold on and push and pull, or you can actually tug on the strap on the top and then the bottom. So the level one would be just to hold onto the strap and pull on either end, just a little bit of isometric tugging. But level two would be pulling on the strap. First you pull up and then you pull down. Back scrub. and stop. Switch sides. And this time, let's see, what have I done here? The right arm is up, and then the left arm is behind the strap, or holding onto the strap. Remember, there are a couple different ways to do this. One is just to tug without moving, tug on either end of the strap. The other is to actually start to pull the strap back and forth. If using the strap is really hard for you, what I recommend is no strap, and then just bring your arms behind you and hold on to your elbows, or as close to your elbows as you can get, so that you're still working on opening the chest and some of the other things that this movement does. And you're still working on opening the hips with the stacked knee position. Your choice. We aim to please. If you can't do this, you can do that. Okay, now, before we go up to standing for back bend, I want to do a 3-minute resting squat. So this means that you're going to, you may use a brick, or you can just, you can just squat without a brick. But otherwise, if you're having trouble squatting without a brick, then you need to squat and sit on the brick. You know that you can sit on the brick in 3 different ways, depending on you. I like to put my hands, my elbows, bend my elbows, clasp my hands and press out while I'm sitting, just because it's a kind of a chest opener. Bring your elbows inside your knees, Kathy, and then press.
Oh.
And then we're going to be here for, what did I say, 3 minutes?
You did.
Okay.
I caught myself squatting the other day to reach something rather than getting on my knees.
Yay!
Yeah. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm down here like this. What am I doing?
I'm very pleased. You make me proud. This should come to be a resting pose. That's why, so we're transitioning from a floor seated, notice, to standing with a resting pose, with what could be a resting pose. You can rock from side to side if you like. It's great for your lower back, great for your core. There's so many good things about squats. Well, there are so many variations of squats, but this is a classic one. And if you want to make this dynamic, you just stand up and come back down, and stand up and come back down. You have about a little over 1 minute left. And when you do come out of this, we're going to come up to standing. So see if you can come up to standing from a squat. Maybe you want to put your hands in front of you, bring your butt high, stand up. Maybe you want to put your hand on a chair in front of you, or a table. Maybe you want to drop one knee, come into a lunge from a squat, dropping one knee down and bringing one knee forward and then coming up. So just see what you can do for yourself to get out of a squat into a standing position. You have 20 seconds. But who's counting? Okay, find your way up to standing, everybody. We're going to do a back bend at the wall, our classic back bend at the wall. If you don't like this back bend at the wall, you can do something seated, floor seated. You can do, put your hands behind your back, straight arms, and lift your chest. And it's similar to the back bend at the wall. But if you're in the back bend at the wall, you want to have your back to the wall, stand in a good posture position with your stacked joints. Bring your arms, bend your arms, and bring your arms up overhead behind you. We're going to stay here for hold on. I had it for 3 minutes, but now I'm not going to do it. 40 seconds. So we can build some new bone. Staying here and breathing. There. Make sure that your hips aren't thrusting forward, that they're stacked over the ankles. And come on out of that, unwind yourself. We're going to do at the wall, we're going to do a spine twist at the wall with first starting with the right shoulder at the wall, right leg forward, left leg back, bend your elbows and rotate your thoracic spine towards the wall. Using your arms for structure and for increasing your rotation if it feels right. Just be here for 40 seconds, building new bone in the thoracic spine mostly, upper back, middle and upper back, which is, by the way, I think it's the most common place where you get compression fractures is the thoracic spine. Unravel yourself, come to the other side, left shoulder at the wall, left leg forward, right leg back, bend your elbows, rotate. Find a thoracic rotation. And let your arms help you on the wall. Untangle. And let's stay here at the wall and do a wall squat. So a wall squat, you're pressing your back into the wall and then lowering your spine down so that you come into a squat position. You may not be able to bend all the way down to a 90-degree angle at the knees and hips, although that is the goal. So your back is pressing into the wall and come down into squatting. And actually, now what I'd like you to do while you're here is snow angels. So bring your arms out by your side and then rotate them as far as you can. Now up by your ears, and then the palms face forward, and then you come down. So this is actually a full snow angel. We usually only do half with squats. Now, come out of the squat if you have to. And stop the snow angels, obviously, and then get back in if you can. You should feel the core and your quads supporting your squat. Just know you can do any of the arm work here in a wall squat. Just do one more snow angel. Up you go, and down you come. And then just walk yourself back to the wall, up the wall. Yep.
Wow.
That's probably a lot of work for you guys because we don't do wall squats, but they're really good for you. Another version of squat. Let's do balancing on one foot. Or if you want to do tree pose, go ahead. I don't usually teach tree pose here because it involves both balancing and then externally rotating the hip. It's just a little more complicated, but some people might like balancing in tree pose better than my balances. If you do, go for it. You take another yoga class and you practice tree and you feel comfortable with it. I'm going to cue just a basic of lifting your knee in front of you and timing for, let's do 30 seconds. I like putting the knee in front because I think it helps with posture more. You put it in, you can put it in back. You can put your foot in back. You can wrap it around your ankle back, not in front. I've never seen people wrap. I wouldn't recommend wrapping in front. So those are all the things you could do. And there's the tree pose, or part of the tree pose. Go ahead and switch sides. Just lifting your knee. So as easy as that, you can do this. You can do this as long as you have a safe point to protect you, to save you when you lose your balance. You could do this anywhere. You can do it on a shopping cart, on a railing, on your kitchen, near your kitchen counter, while you're brushing your teeth. Okay, come on out of that. We're going to do short split stance, short foot.
Say that 5 times.
Yeah, really. So we're going to stand in good posture, feet forward. Bring one foot forward a little bit. Don't bring it too far because this is a balancing pose. You want to feel comfortable, just a little forward. This is the split stance. Now from here, lift your toes, and before you bring them down, I want you to grab your abdominals as low as you can, find those, and now drop your toes and press them into the floor. And then bring your attention while you're here, move your attention between the arch at the bottom of the foot, which you should feel because you're pressing your toes on the floor, and the abdominals because you've activated them. There is a relationship between the core and the floor and the foot. And this is trying to teach you to find that relationship. And then go ahead and release and switch sides. The other leg forward. Lift your toes. Find your core. Drop your toes. And then move your attention between the core, the engaged core, and the engaged medial arch. And just keep going between the 2 points. And now come on down to the floor. We're going to do some things on the floor, prone. Come first into a child's pose. We'll do a child's pose. I want to show you, I want to tell you anyway, maybe I described this last time. If you're having trouble reaching the floor on your child's pose, I'd like you to put a sponge ball at your stomach and a brick under your head. Just stay here. We're going to stay here for 40 seconds. This is a resting pose. I was going to have you add some shoulder stuff. I'm not going to do that. Straighten your arms and rest. Or the brick could go longwise if you need to. And just rest. This is a hip opener, a shoulder opener. This is actually an all-round pose, whole body pose. And it's a resting pose. But not unless you've made yourself comfortable. So that's the first step there. Go ahead and find your way onto your belly for the prone back extension. This does several things. You're building bone in the upper back, the thoracic spine, and the lower back actually, but you're also building muscle, which, you know, there's a risk of falling that happens as we get older. We feel like we might fall, and if we do fall, we might break some bones, crumble some bones. So it adds a dimension to a back extension. That's what I want to say. Go ahead and take an inhale to prepare, and then bring an exhale, bring your arms up and your chest up and your head up, and stay here and breathe. Take an inhale and then an exhale, come on down. And next time we'll go up into an airplane with your arms out to the side. Take an inhale first to prepare, an exhale to come on up. Take another inhale and then an exhale, open your arms out into airplane. Stay here for 30 seconds if you can, or come down if you need to. This is a very demanding pose. But you should actually feel this, like you're getting stronger in your upper and mid back. Come on down. Find your way down to the floor. We're going to do a thoracic mobility release pose that we do often paired with this, with the back extension. Look to the right, bring your right leg up and be over behind your left leg. The only thing that you can't move here, you can move anything you want below the waist, but above the waist, your chest, your arms, and your armpits are on the floor. Releasing the upper and mid back. Come on back, look left. Left leg comes up and over and behind. Keep your armpits on the floor. Just breathing and stretching and activating the upper back. Come on back, everybody. Find your way onto your back for Yoga Nidra, closing the class with a 61-point guided meditation that we always do, which is supposed to, repetition is an important component of this Yoga Nidra practice. So if you think, will she ever do anything else? The answer is probably is no, probably not. No, probably not, because because I know that repeating this is increases the benefits. So find your way onto your back, warm and comfortable, starting by watching your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. And watching the rise and fall of your belly. And now bring your awareness and your attention to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes your 61-point guided meditation. Go ahead and bring your entire awareness and body back to the room. Extend your legs along the mat. Bring your arms overhead. Stretch your body in both directions, trying to create a little more space right where we were working with the QL between the pelvis and the rib cage. And stretch and wiggle and stretch, right side, left side. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your ankles and your wrists in one direction and then the other. Hug your right knee to your chest. And then your left knee. Both knees hug your chest. Rock from side to side. This is an upside down child's pose if you hadn't noticed, or even if you have. And then whenever you're ready, just roll all the way over into a fetal position on the floor with your arm, bottom arm as a pillow. Your top arm, the palm presses into the floor. And so you can bring yourself up to seated, side lying without involving rounding of the back. I'm going to remove the spotlight. You guys are going to unmute yourselves. I'm going to change my view to gallery. Yeah, so we can finish up here. Let me see something here. And find your favorite floor seated position. Bring your hands to your chest, prayer pose. Press your hands together. See if you can find the scapula. Say hello to the scapula. Sit up tall. Press, press, press. Stronger, stronger, stronger. And then go ahead and release all of that into just a soft prayer pose. Lift your skull away from the shoulders. The spine stays straight, and you're going to nod or roll your skull over the top of the spine. C1, C2. Nodding, 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 bowing. Bowing to each other, acknowledging and honoring the light in each of us. And then knowing that we are all one light. We're going to close the class by saying to each other, Namaste.
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 Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.